what's being billed as a war on Barbie, Green Senator Larissa Waters is urging parents to avoid buying their children Christmas gifts that promote gender stereotypes, like Barbie dolls for girls and toy trucks for boys. And Senator Waters joins me now from Canberra. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you going?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Tell us, what's the problem with these toys?
Well, look, our main beef is the fact that you're going to the shops and it's obviously a very busy time of year and everyone's flat out trying to organise their Christmas gifts and general life. And you're confronted with these aisles where it's toys for boys on one side and toys for girls on the other. Now, I know my little girl loves dinosaurs and loves train sets. She also likes jewellery and girly movies. But what we object to is that children are being told what they should and shouldn't like based on their gender. Children should be free to choose whatever toys that they like and not be limited by those old-fashioned stereotypes.
Sorry, who's telling them which toys they're meant to be attracted to?
Well, our concern is that many of these stores are retailing and labelling toys as specifically for girls or for boys. And that seems to me to be just a silly limitation on the potential of kids. Kids should be able to choose whatever toys that they like, and parents should be discussing with kids the things like gender stereotypes and making sure girls and boys know they can choose to be and do whatever they want to be.
But isn't that up to the parent to decide rather than having some kind of legislation? If you're going into a toy store with your son or daughter, they can be attracted to whatever toy they want. And as we know,
Yes.
kids work out what they like. No matter what you say or,
Yes.
or what marketers say, they know what they're attracted to. So how do you legislate against that?
Well, you're very right that kids know exactly what they like, but what's disturbing is when they see signs that point out this is for boys, this isn't for you, this is a superhero toy, this isn't for girls. I think that's just nonsense, and most kids know that that's nonsense, but we shouldn't be perpetuating those sort of stereotypes. So we're not talking about a legislated ban, we're just talking about having stores think about how they market toys and just let toys be toys. Let's not stereotype them as boys' toys or girls' toys.
You've said that certain toys promote domestic violence and pay inequality. Which toys are they?
Well, I think the newspapers have gotten a bit silly about that. What we do know is that the research shows that gender stereotyping feeds into gender inequality, and it's actually one of the main predictors of domestic violence. So it seems like a bit of a stretch to think about toys and domestic violence, but it's all of these reinforcements of gender stereotypes that we know can create the situation and the circumstances and the attitudes that can then lead to violence. So it's important that we think about the message that you're sending, and we shouldn't be labelling toys for boys and toys for girls. Just let toys be toys.
Okay, so you're backing a campaign called No Gender December. Just to be absolutely clear here, what is it you're calling for?
Well, we're calling for stores to stop marketing toys as either for girls or for boys.
Sure, but can you be specific about that? Do you mean, are you seeing signs in toy stores that says this is the boys section, this is the girls section? Because I go into toy stores and I've not seen that.
Well, I don't have as much time to go into toy stores as I used to, but certainly on the last trip I've noticed there was a distinct separation with a whole wall of trucks and robots, and then a separate wall of dolls and castles.
I know you've got a 5-year-old daughter. Isn't your daughter free to go into the truck section and the dinosaur section just as my son would be free to go into the dolls section?
Yeah, absolutely, and she does. She likes that section much better. But the point is, why is the store saying that there should be separate boys' toys and separate girls' toys? Why are there signs saying these are for boys or these are for girls?
With
it's just
respect,
these subtle
Senator Waters,
reinforcements of gender stereotyping.
But the stores aren't laying down rules. They put the toys out there, and whatever child wants to be attracted to that toy, they're going to walk towards it. I'm just unclear in exactly what it is that the stores are doing wrong.
Well, it's the message that they're sending, that some toys are for boys and some toys are for girls. Clearly people can make their own purchasing decisions, and it's great that they'll think about these sorts of issues when they're making that decision. But it's that subtle reinforcement of gender stereotypes that we know reinforces that cultural belief that men and women are somehow very different. And we know that that ultimately feeds into really serious problems like domestic violence. So we need to be alert to this kind of reinforcement of stereotyping and try to break it down rather than to reinforce it.
OK, Senator Waters, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thanks, Lisa. Happy Christmas.
And you. And we would love to know your thoughts this morning. You can send us an email, a message on Facebook or Twitter.